It is good we have at least three teachers in a class.
Three
That
teachers.
will go a long way to qualify the learning process.
All right. Thank you. Good luck. Let's hear from Fine Mind. Fine Mind from Rumokrushi. Good afternoon and welcome to the sunny side.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, I think the most important thing among them, although there are other things that you should look at for. But the most important thing is the remedy and the security of the place, the environment,
Okay.
how serene and how secure it is. Then next on the list is how much the child are paid. Very, very important. That is even more important than the amount they are paid.
How much the teachers are paid?
The kind amount that they are being paid. Okay for them. Then secondly, the facilities that the school has. These are the three things that I look after before sending my children to any school. The environment, the security of the environment, how much teachers are paid, and also the facilities of learning in the school. Thank you.
Okay. Legacy is calling from HA. Good afternoon to you, Legacy, and welcome to the sunny side.
Thank you, Denise. Straight to the point. Harvard carried out a publication once, and they were discussing what they call marketing myopia. In simple terms, most of what we think we are selling is not all of what we are selling. So when we go to school, when we take our children to school, we want to buy more than knowledge. We want to buy value.
Okay.
We want to buy both curricular and extracurricular activities. We want to buy network to boost our network. That's why some persons would pay anything to get their children into highbrow schools, because they meet highbrow children from highbrow homes and they can forge a network. And this sometimes will inform the kind and quality of relationships and network your children will have for tomorrow. The quality of confidence, like one of your callers said, their disposition, their exposure level, and all that. And then, there are these curricular concerns. The delivery matters, the quality of pedagogy, right? And then the extracurricular concerns. You have sports festivals, you have excursions, you have tours, and all of that. That children from the other schools at the other side of the divide, of the economic divide, will not afford. So it's a whole ballgame, it's a complete package. And so a rich investment in all of this, including things like power. Some classrooms have ACs, we're talking about the environment. Some classrooms have air conditioners, they are designed in a certain kind of way. We call it packaging with style and panache and all of that. And these things need to be maintained. Now, this is what the parents pay for. But then I think that for the schools, their offerings should not undermine pedagogy. And how will they get that? How will they get the best of the best kinds of teachers? Now, the difference between the school, the public schools and the private schools is supervision, which is why you see that the private business owners would want to inspect and supervise to ensure they get the kind of results that they want. Unlike the public schools that are run by the government, that is like anything goes, no standard. But for me, the satisfaction stands from the performance at the end of the day. A situation where you pay your 3 million, your 5 million in some cases, you pay in dollars per term, and then children in those schools are not named amongst the best 10 at the end of your life, at the end of your job. We're just coming from the Nesoma case. She came from a public kind of a church-owned school that is probably not a highbrow school. So where are the highbrow schools? Where are the dollarized environment? So there has to be a balance, a rational balance. And, school is not just that fine place next door. Parents should ask a certain number of questions, especially about the results over the last 1 to 3 years in public exams. What are the performances in public exams? That is a strong way to defining quality.
Okay, so I have 2 questions for you before I let you go. Other callers are waiting, but let me engage you for a bit. Is it fair that someone will pay as high as XYZ, let's say in hundreds of thousands, and the teachers that teach in that same school that helps to some way somehow uphold the standard, as it were, in quote, of that school is paid peanuts? That's question number 1. Question number 2. It has been argued over time that some of these so-called schools that tend to churn out the best when it comes to WAEC examinations and some other examinations that matter have some way somehow bribed their way or manipulated it in such a way that every year back to back that they are churning out the best students may not necessarily mean that, oh, these children are actually the best. It just comes to a case of bargain between the examining bodies. Make my students, make them, because I need to uphold the standard, because these are the things that you, the parents, are looking out for.
Okay, let me take from the first question. Right, demand and supply. I think one of the questions I would always want to ask when I'm looking for a school for my children is turnover rate. Okay. Parents should be conscious of turnover rate. Turnover rates are pointers to poor welfare. Okay, when every term, like a large percentage of the teachers are leaving for greener pastures, then it could show that they are poorly motivated. We should look out for that. It will help us know how much they pay. If they pay really poorly, the teachers will go. What are the incentives? How do they incentivize their teachers? Okay, so that answers to that question. So it's not justified that you have a highbrow school and the teachers are paid poorly, because you might just be lining up the pocket of the proprietor and it doesn't add up. There should be a balance. And most times, in most schools today, it is the PTA, the Parent Teacher Association, that determines the pay of the teachers. So it also points that there's a weak PTA and there's a weak policy driving board or policy institution in the school, and parents should look out for this as well. Okay, yeah. Then the second question, it's not exactly, so funny enough, it is a lot of the private schools, go and do your research, that bribe the WAEC officials. Today there are some public schools you send WAEC officials to, they will say they will not go. Why? Because those ones don't play ball. Look at a lot of the public schools have children who can't even afford the generators to read at night, so they burn candles. But they are naturally gifted and their natural talents come out. While in the private schools, you have teachers even assisting them in some way, and then because they want the marketing rights, you can say anything to these officials. So, you know, they have different things. ECOMOG, mass cheating, when 2-3 children sit together around intelligent children, and then they still settle WAEC, they pay them, let's do anything in the exam hall. It is more in the private schools than in the public school. Okay. Yeah.
So you see, so when you say, I want my child to attend Nigeria Info School because they make the best results, they may be making the best results because they are doing something that we do not know. But thank you so much. Our next caller, okay, you know what? I'm going to read some messages and then we move on to more calls. Good afternoon. I think before you decide to pay that amount, you should have been able to make inquiry about the school. Also, history of the school matters. Even at that, some small schools have better teachers. Adokie from Opobo. Mr. Zion from GRA, welcome to the sunny side. Go ahead.
Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon and welcome.
Quality education. It is the school curriculum, which is from the primary, let me say the nursery, primary, and secondary. Now, what are the ingredients we determine as quality education? If you can give them that system where they can have this innovative idea, when they can have this critical and creative thinking or analyzing situations, even at home, as in daddy, when last did you bring out a cane to flog these children? If you have done it yesterday, they have the quality education. did it was 3 months ago. They have quality education, verbal reasoning, quantitative analysis, and physics. You see, these 3 courses or these 3 subjects was one thing that have differentiated the children of today and we of then. Verbal reasoning, quantitative analysis, and physics. These have projected the children to analyze situations. Every child is curious in nature, and they want to ask nature questions, and they need an answer. And if you cannot give them an answer through education from the school, as a parent, what will they do? They will use the screwdriver and lose the television at home, the whole radio at home. They want to hear this question that radio. Why is she talking? They will lose it. Because
Oh dear, so sorry. This brings me to what a conversation I was having with a member of my church. He has an 11-year-old who just graduated from primary school. And I know they attend one of the best schools here in River State. In fact, I may not mention their name, but they are two girls, Yoruba children. From when these children were as young as 2 years, they hadn't traveled out of the country. And that's what I'm sharing this because of what Muriel said about the grammar. They had not traveled outside Nigeria, but they could speak very, very well. In fact, when they see me in church, "Hi auntie, how do you do? How you doing? Hello auntie," and blah 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 and all of those things. Hi, and it's not gisting me of what happened in school and this and that and that and this, and we're having that conversation. Now, how did they get to speak like that? Of course, you know, children watch a lot of cartoons. One of those cartoons they usually would watch would be Dora the Explorer at the time. And then the kind of school they attend, they claim or they say that they use the British curriculum. Yeah? So it's a very high school like that. So when you go to the school, you will see African children, Nigerian children, and you see the children of foreigners that are in Nigeria, based in Nigeria, attend that kind of school. Now, did it mean that because they could speak well, they were intelligent? That's a question. Did it mean that because they could speak well, they are street smart? Did it mean that because they could speak so well, they could compete with their peers from other schools? Yes, every now and then they do graduation ceremonies. In short, at the end of every term, they usually have one award they give. They'll just decorate one small thing. Most polite child in class. Most, they give most beautiful handwriting. And I look at these things and I'm like, wow, a lot has changed. When I went to primary school and nursery school, which one is most polite in class or most beautiful handwriting in class? So the mom was so excited that one of them had finished primary school. But the dad insisted that you will not stop at primary 5. You will get to primary 6, which is the standard. You're not in a hurry to go to any secondary school. I don't want a child who is just intelligent, book-wise. But if this child goes to the road, they will scan this child and collect this child's money. So I'm not in a hurry. So while the mother was all about preparing for the graduation, he said he came back, he saw cake, and he was not. He said, "See, when I know that you are ready, ganganga, I'm the one that will throw you a big party, because for me, education is not A in mathematics, B in this, a C in this one, this in that one, most polite, most beautiful handwriting, most decent, most that, most creative, and this and that." No. He needed a child that will be educated all round. So when he decided to pay that kind of money, he's paying a lot, I must say. That kind of money, he was expecting a lot more than just intelligence, book-wise. Not the grammar. Not talking shwe, as some of you would say. Not talking not talking phone. I think that's the word you use. But speaking good, proper English, knowing the books, and at the same time being smart in every other area. That for him, to you. Do you think you're getting your money's worth? If you decide to bring out 20,000 naira every term to pay for your child's school fees, are you guaranteed that the choice school will give you 20k worth of value? Even if they give you more, but are you guaranteed that you will get your money's worth? What are the parameters you use to determine quality education for your children? We're going to commercial break. We come back to this. Stay tuned.
For more talk, news,
Seven 923 0002 0817 923 0003 0817 923 0007 and 0817 923 0009. WhatsApp and Telegram number remains 0809 030 6416. Shortly, we'll be going on the news break for trending stories, but do remember that we'll be back to round off this conversation. Now, I asked two pertinent questions. What parameters are used to determine quality of education received by students? Is it the teachers, the learning environment, the teaching and learning facilities provided, or something else? 2, do you think you are getting the kind of education that is equal to the amount you pay as fees? Now, while we're having this conversation, I saw a tweet about a school where you're paying 400k per term for your child's school fees. The school is located in a posh area, but the teacher that is teaching your child is hired from another area altogether. The school is probably in Jerry, but they went to Dope to go and source teachers for your child. And then they are paying that teacher 50,000 naira per month as salary. And you think the quality of education you pay for is worth 400k? Now, this conversation is broad, like I said, but I tried to narrow it down to 2. That's these 2 questions I am asking. Maybe some of the time we'll look at the acceptable standard of teachers in schools based on what is being paid as school fees. Have you ever thought of how much your child's teacher is being paid? Nigeria Info, good afternoon, welcome, go ahead. Hello? Yes, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, go ahead.
Hello.
Yes, good afternoon.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you, and I could hear you before now. You have roughly 1 minute, so go ahead.
Am I on Nigeria Info, please?
This is Nigeria Info. Go ahead, please.
Okay. In respect to the discussion, actually, talking about good schools and the quality of education we get as parents. Yeah, I'm Emmanuel. I'm Emmanuel.
Emmanuel, just go ahead, please.
Okay. My daughter actually, she was about 2 years plus, And she learned from cartoon. She was speaking like somebody who has traveled out. Someone even asked me once, has your daughter traveled before? But eventually, they recommended the school for me, and I took my daughter to that particular school. Unfortunately, now she's about 4, and she has lost that pattern of talking completely. She doesn't speak like that anymore. She speaks like every normal child, except she wants to twist her mouth to speak the Queen's English.
It's unfortunate.
I think it depends on the school and the environment. The school is nice. They have nice people there. So I don't think the school.
All right, we'll come back to this after the news break. Just stay tuned to us.
Information is a two-way thing. Nigeria Info, it's your turn. Let's talk.